From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, bump.
What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn. I know it's been a while since I give you an update, but things have been pretty busy here. So I said, let me squeeze a little something in here, and seeing how temperatures are climbing, what better chance to look at the fish tank than when we're going through what I call the spring thaw. Basically, your tank goes over the same changes that you go over. You know, you're coming down from that winter frost. You've gotten used to those days where the average temperature was 40 degrees. Now, all of a sudden, you're getting sporadic temperatures in the 80s. You know, and who hasn't ever run into this problem? It's about 85 degrees in the house, and as you can see from looking at the controller, the tank is hitting 83 degrees. Now, I don't run a chiller on this tank, but there's a couple of things that I do. Basically, as you can see, the fans are they're connected to the apex. So once the temperature hits 79.5 or whatever it is, I have the fans cut on. So there's a few things that you can do to actually cool your tanks down, and that's the reason I'm shooting this video. First and foremost, in the summertime, I cut down on the amount of time that I have my daylights on. My tank's been established for quite a long time, but without running a chiller, and I've run a chiller, but it's pretty damn expensive running a chiller in New York. What I actually have, and I'm not running it now, is I have a wall unit built into the wall. I have a wall-based AC directly over the tank, and if you look through my fan ventilation, or actually let me open it, I have a lot of space between my lights, the back wall, and the AC that sits directly above them. So let me give you a couple of tips. This is what I do. First and foremost, like I said, reduce the amount of time that you have those daylights on. I have 460 level actinics, which are very bright. Right now, I'm only running the actinics. The daylights are not on. And as you can see, they're very bright blue. Even usually the corals don't open when the daylights go off, but you know, like my zoos and things, my polyps, you know, will stay open. My clam is adjusting. I don't know if he's going to do well in this heat. I haven't had him a long time, and they're pretty sensitive to that. But reduce the amount of time that you have the daylights on. 2, if you can have those lights away from direct exposure to water, you know, have a nice amount of space between the water and your lights. That gives you a nice amount of space for air exchange. You know, my fans run here. I got air blowing in on one side, air blowing out, plus a little ventilation in my hood. On both sides I have fans. So having that gap between the tank and the water is very important for oxygen exchange. I see a lot of people have a lot of problems with, even when it's not hot, with having their tanks really high topped off and having those lights very close to the water. You lose a lot of water in the summer, and anybody with a reef tank, especially in New York, knows that your water bill goes up in the summer. You lose a lot of water in a reef tank due to evaporation. So, you know, having that space between the lights and the water is very important. Thirdly, outside of having, you know, that water not splattering all over the place, these are my makeshift water returns. I have those water returns hooked up to my sump so that at certain times I can have water come through here. If I want to add carbon, that's an old aqua clear shell. It's just a shell. If you look in the back, and I don't want to drop my phone, my return line actually runs into this case. It's really hard to see. So if I run carbon, which I do a lot more in the summer, just because, you know, fish give off a lot of waste in the summer. They get a lot more active as the water gets warmer. I do more carbon in the summer, and I try not to have water splattering into the tank, because as you can see now, usually the water level is right up to that, which used to be a little bi-wheel return, and it's low. So I'm losing about maybe a little under a gallon in evaporation a day, you know, at least. So I try to cut down the splatter, and I'll probably switch from that unit to that unit. I have a shut-off valve. I can switch between the two, and that one comes a lot more lower to the water. So, you know, cutting down on the splatter, reducing the evaporation is very good for the tank, and trying to keep the temperature down. My temperature is pretty high, and seeing how these fish are well adapted to the changes in my tank. These guys are more than 5 years old. My little striped gang there, they look like bandits. They're almost maybe 8-9 years old. But you know, trying to cut the temperature down in these tanks is a big job, and my tank is 6 feet long. There's a lot of water to cool down. It's not like my little Hex where I can just get some cooled water and swap it out real quick. So big ball of wax. Even with a chiller would be running on this tank, and I found out the hard way a majority of the day. So, you know, there's a lot of tricks you need. Last, keeping the room temperature under control. I usually have this room a lot cooler. I didn't turn any AC or have anything on today because the weather took a drastic change. It went from like 70 to like 85 degrees today. So we're getting crazy New York weather. So you know, that's it. There's a lot of obstacles in the hobby. Temperature control is one of them. We learn to deal with it, and what are you gonna do? But I just wanted to give you guys a little update because I've been slacking here with the updates. I've been pretty dang on busy, and you know, looking forward to a very hot summer. We had a killer winter, so you know we're gonna have a very hot summer. So this is D giving you a little update. Temperature is going up. I'm sweating like a slave here, and trying to keep my sanity by keeping my tanks, by keeping everybody happy. So until next time, this is my update. Keep those temperatures under control, people. We're trying to cool off. All right. See ya.